and Gwen is huge. But then on the flip side, Gamer First, they are now being a lower seed. They are the underdog story, and they are the only team to have perhaps thrown one off. And so it is up to them to kind of set a tone and perhaps find one of their own.
And I'm not sure if this is the first map. It looks like we are still in the pregame lobby, so we may be changing maps for map number 1. Unfortunately, I was unable to catch the picks and bans, so I'm not entirely sure what the map order is going to be. We will sort it out as we go along, as we always do. There you go. There's your rosters. Binks and Gwen for Gamers First. Into the breach, Mime and Elcon. And Jalichi and I sort of, we're talking about the future of Trackmania yesterday and who was going to lead the way there and the bright young stars of today. And again, I don't think you can have that conversation without the Polish superstar and Mime kind of at the top of the list of players to kind of carry the torch forward.
Well, here's something I love. You talk about young talent, and you talk about them being the players of tomorrow and carrying Trackmania forward. This is a young team. They're just getting into Trackmania Grand League. And so with a young team and a young player, it is about this moment, perhaps, this being a time for Mime and Elcon to step up and announce themselves and announce ITB as a team not to look forward to, but to watch now.
We're going to start our day off on 23. This should be quite an interesting one. Not something, not a map that I think you really want to mess with when it comes to Into the Breach here. They have been pretty good. I know that, again, Mime just very, very fast on this track himself. And I'm sure this was an ITB pick. I would be questioning Gamers First if they decided to go with this map things first, but we'll see how it goes. I mean, cannot count out Binks and Gwen on just about any map in this game, but it is going to look like Mime and Elcon hand in hand to lead the way on this first lap. They will find their way through that ice loop. We didn't get to see the big boy ice loop in the first series. We get to see it now.
It's all grown up.
These players handle it. Oh no, Elcon a little bit wobbly out of that section. He can't quite find the speed. Gwen will take second and deny the ace from ITB, so it's a 2-1 lead for them.
I loved the almost identical dive you saw from the ITV players to then put themselves from third and fourth, first to second. But it's all Gwen there at the end, able to make the move and get Gamers First a point, so they are not giving up an ace immediately. 2-1 scoreline right now. And all 4 players, their tires are now wet, but I want to say their feet are wet with this map, feeling good. And starting to try and get their legs from underneath them and seeing who can perhaps turn, not this corner, but the corner metaphorically, and get their team more securely in the lead.
It's just insane how nearly identical Elcon and Mime run this map. I mean, it's literally we win together, we lose together for these two players on this
Ride or
track.
die.
I mean, they are so close to one another. Again, they're pretty much wheel to wheel heading into the ice loop here. Gwen is really the only player that can challenge them. And assuming Elcon has a little bit better of an entry into this final ice slide section, it looks like it's going to be an ace for ITB, as Gwen's going to try to cut down the inside. It's not going to be enough, or is it? It is enough, as Mime can't get to the finish. And that is going to be a draw, and my goodness, does Gamers First have 2 oh no, Mime again off the outside of the
Mime,
finish.
you want to go through it?
He's able to cross the line 15 seconds after his teammate. But Gamers First gifted 2 points to start this series.
Well, Gamers First and second points now on the scorecard, and only down 1 as they found themselves in a favorable spot, but perhaps not a favorable track. As you talk about it, ITB, they look absolutely immaculate, riding hand in hand, wheel and wheel, axle and axle, all together, almost it's practiced unison. It's Gwyn unfortunately losing so much momentum there. And Gwyn was the one running up with Mime and Elcon, but now it is all eyes on Binks to try and keep up.
Yeah, unfortunately for Gwen, just a bit of an error there. Binks has been fast. But it just, again, Elcon and Mime just a couple tenths lead. Elcon unable to handle the ice loop, and Mime's wobbling outside through the bobsled. Binks is going to rush out to the top spot. Can he hold off the incoming Mime? He's going to take that sharp angle, and he will cut down both Mime and Elcon. Gwen taking third. Gamers First going to tie this series at 4 after what looked like 3 rounds where ITB had things wrapped up heading into that ice loop.
Well, it is all about how the team finishes, and Gwen able to outlast. I mean, that was, let's be honest, it was a battle of endurance on the back end there with Elcon and Gwen able to make it happen. 4-4 now tied, both of these squads looking to take map 23 here and start off on the correct foot. Gamers First a bit slower out of the gates so far, but they have answered the call. Perhaps maybe not of their own volition every single time, but being optimistic and opportunistic, Hunted, is exactly what you need, especially in such a competitive environment.
And, you know, I hate to continue to beat this point, but we talked about Elcon and Mime having consistency issues over their careers, and granted, it's been quite a young career for both of them. But it's kind of rearing its head. Here's Elcon again, struggling through that ice loop. Can Binks make a move on him? He
got him.
Mime, though, however, is going to challenge Gwen for the top spot. Overtakes for the moment, but here comes Gwen battling back. Has a little bit better exit speed. This ice drift is going to be massive for Gwen. Cuts down Mime. Elcon will take down Binks, however, and we've got another draw, and this time we move to 5 apiece. I don't know how this map has stayed this competitive, but you've got to hand it to Gamers First. They have taken advantage of just about every opportunity given to them.
I don't think I've seen a 5-5 tie yet, so we stand at a perfect equaling of 10, but neither team passed the midway point, and so for better or for worse, Hunted, we're back where we started, halfway there.
Pretty much. But an ace now is huge. If you can ace one of these rounds, I mean, you're not, you know, it's not a done deal, but it's with how with how each round has gone, it is looking quite good for you.
I just want to say, from a viewing perspective, I love ITB's and G1's decals. Like, it's gorgeous.
Yeah.
All 4 of these cars are gorgeous in this wrap right now, and it's about having not a gorgeous car. You know, look good, feel good, race good, perhaps is the old adage, but right now ITB racing clean as they survived through what has been their bugaboo the last 2 times. Mime and Elcon, you talk about it. He does.
But I don't think it's gonna be enough.
He's got enough. I don't think he has enough. And he talked about an ace being exactly what a doctor could order, and ITB getting it ordered and served up to make it 8-5.
Yeah, and that's what, 3rd time's the charm there for ITB to find an ace.
And this 3 points.
Yeah. This time they don't they don't blow a wheel at the finish line and are able to cross together again. 500 separating the teammates there. Well, 600 just about separating the teammates there. And now this is where Gamers First, like I said, you know, an ace really hurts if you give one up at this point. So we'll see what they can do. I think they pretty much need an ace of their own. I saw somebody hit the inside wall. Not entirely sure who that was. I think it might have been Gwen, and it was. He's not too far back. Certainly going to keep on it, hoping for a mistake from his opponents. Binks, however, is right in the thick of things, splitting the 2 ITB teammates. However, Elcon and Mime, as usual, out to the lead here, heading into the bobsleigh.
Here's the question
and
mark.
Ice Loop. Oh, Binks off his line here. This is dire now. They need a mistake from the 2 ITB members, and I think if you're Elcon and Mime, you've got to realize you have space here. Just get it across the line, and you will take the victory, and they do. 2 aces to finish things off into the breach. Struggled to finish early on in the map, this time able to connect the dots, and they will take map 1.
Map 1, a score of 10-5 or 11-5, excuse me. Math is difficult, especially when it's added for you, you know, when you're trying to be preemptive about it. But ITV, the easy math I can do is 1-0 in this best of 7. Feeling good right now, Hunted. And, you know, I got to say, it's not an armor-clad knight on a horse, but a fire suit man inside of an iron machine driving down the car.
Sure.
And feeling comfortable right now. ITV up 1 as we head to 08, I think.
And those suits now colored, which is pretty cool.
Right?
We have new track suits for anybody who hasn't updated the game recently. It just came out, 2 days ago? Yeah. Get in there, check it out. I did learn that not every country's driver is finished yet. They're still like adding some in, so unfortunately for us, the US driver is not in the game yet, but he is on his way, is what I'm told.
Hold up. I think I got it.
Oh, you okay?
Don't
Well,
worry,
while
we'll be ready next time
while
come back to
we are in, we're starting. Oh wait, this is going to be a quick track here. But while we do this, why don't we break down for anybody who is new to this event? Give me just one moment. Mime's going to try to make a run here on Gwen. Oh, Gwen, is he going to keep him off? Yes, just enough. I'm just running out of track there. It's going to be a draw. So the way the points work is it's based on how your team finishes. There are technically 4 possible outcomes for your team. If you go 1 and 2, your team gets an ace, you get 3 total points. If you go 1 and 3, you get a victory. Your team gets 2 points, the enemy team gets 1 point. If your team goes 2 and 3, so the enemies are 1 and 4, or vice versa, both teams get only 1 point. It is considered a draw. And if you go 3 and 4, you're outside the top 2, then you get no points. The enemy team gets 3 points, and it's not looking good. So here we'll see Elcon and Mime go 1 and 3. That means they get a victory on that run, and they get 2 points. Gamers First will collect the 1 point, as it wasn't a clean sweep or an ace, as it is called here in this format. So it is a new format for a lot of folks to learn, especially long-time Trackmania Esports viewers, but it is quite simple, and you'll get the hang of it, again, if you are new to watching the stream here, new to the format. And that's the whole point of the showdown, right, is to get not just the pros, but everybody involved sort of used to this new format.
The big thing is it's ease of picking up and putting down as soon as you kind of get your eyes on it here. But right now, Mime having his eyes locked on that finish. Mime and Elcon 1-2 and getting an ace again for ITB. And they are looking good. You see it in big white letters. It's now 6-2 and G1 down big.
And it is 1st to 10. It doesn't matter how you get there. If you are the first team to 10 points, you are the victor. I don't think we have seen a map go to a 10-10 tie on our stream yet. So I don't know exactly how the overtime session works, if there is one. I mean, I'm assuming there would be. I wouldn't imagine we would reset the map, as Elcon and Mime, again, just screaming down this track. I mean, just absolute domination from them. They're over 3/10 faster than Binks. That's going to be a 9-2 score. And just like that, this track goes by very fast, especially when there's a couple aces thrown in.
Yep, and you can't have anything other than an ace for G1, as Gamers First need to be the Gamers First across the finish line. But right now, it is all ITV, all acceleration, all moving forward here. It's 9-2, still in control. Binks out in front. Gwen right behind him here. Falling a bit further back, as now it is Elcon nipping at the heels. He just needs to stay in this 2 position and will do just that.
And so there you go. So Elcon and Mime, they only get a point for this round. Gamers First get 2, but it doesn't matter. It's enough for them to reach 10, and that is a track victory for ITB. So they are up 2-0 quickly on Gamers First, heading into map number 3. And now, again, because this is a best of 7, there, it's not a must-win situation here for the French duo, but they do. I do think, this track, and this is going to be tough. Again, this is a very good map for both Elcon and Mime, but I think they have to win this one. I just don't see them reverse sweeping a team like this.
Now, here's a question that I have, Hunted. You were talking about hoping that Gamers First didn't make the pick of that first map. But when you know you're going into a best of 7, right? You've got a lot of maps to go through. And so do you think perhaps getting one of your opponent's best maps that you couldn't get banned out of the way early so you get on to better maps that you feel more comfortable on?
I think you try to delay them as long as possible and hope that you don't get there. Hope that you can steal away a map or two early and then win your maps. And then, I mean, granted, your opponents are going to be picking the maps that they want to pick, right? So I think you just focus on yourself at that point. Play the maps that you're confident on and you're comfortable on. Unless you know that that your opponents are struggling on a specific map, as Gwen, unfortunately, a bit too far outside on that transition to the plastic. Binks, though, is going to be leading both Mime and Elcon in this first round. This is all 2020-21. You've seen some dramatics here. I can remember a couple of fantastic rounds with the Sinners boys on this map. As Binks to lead Mime all the way through and down, and that's going to be a draw to kick things off. Both teams will grab a point.
I think at 1-1 right now, a draw is certainly not the worst way to start, especially for Gamers First, as, again, it gets you on the board, you feel confident, you saw the good run from Binks, but Mime and Elcon right at his heels. It just needs to have more from Gwen at this point to try and follow it up and make something magical happen.
Yeah, the thing about a draw is it depends on how you look at it, right? Like, because most of the time we get draws by having a player make a mistake. So you can look at it like, oh, well, his teammate salvaged a draw out of that. You make a mistake. Oh, we only concede 1 point. We get a point ourselves. You can also look at it as, oh, what a missed opportunity. I won the round, and we only get a point. But
yeah, but see, that glass half full, glass half empty kind of thinking right now,
Yeah, well, exactly. And that's what makes it fun.
Making it fun right now is Elcon up in front, having Gwen right behind him, and still a bit of ground needing to be made up. I don't know exactly where Gwen can find it, but still a lot of time here. Still trying to find perhaps the angle or the way, as now closing that distance, but it's all about the momentum gained out of the corner. Elcon doing such a good job, and oh my goodness, Mime, hello? Yeah. Sitting even further, waiting for the opportunity, sniping it to get the ace.
Yeah, that's a heartbreaker there from Gwen. His line through that last corner, that last little right-hander on the reactor-boosted plastic, it's just, if you go just a bit too wide, Mime is going to sniff that out. That's exactly what he did. That's tough for Gamers First. They find themselves now down by 3 points, 4-1 for ITB. And this round's going to have to be good. It's going to have to be a response. They need at least 2 points here, in my opinion, for G1.
They need something, Hunted, and they need it quick, because it is 2-0 in the series score. 4-1 here off the back of an ace. And ITB, though not much of a momentum team that we've seen too far yet. Mime and Elcon, such solid players and so consistent. When they get that first or second golden run, they almost kind of lock into those and just start knocking them out.
Gwen's a little bit wide. You see Binks catch his teammate and overtake. Elcon doing his best to try to track down the Frenchman. And he might have overtaken him. It looks like he will. This is going to be another ace for ITB. Elcon from 4th to 2nd. And Gamers First again cannot hang on to their positions in that final plastic section. This is a huge swing for ITB. They will be on track points. Another ace will do it for them.
Here's my thinking is, like, what's the best way other than just driving the track to get some practice? Mime and Elcon are trading, saying, all right, I want you to go win this race, and then I'm going to go try and snipe it for the ace. And they've done it back to back.
I don't know. I think at this point...
Clutch genes.
I think at this point, if you are Gwen and Binks, I think you need to make sure you have a little bit of cushion heading into that final plastic section. Oh, who was that? I think somebody just went... Was it Binks?
It was Binks.
It was, yeah. I mean, again, that's the second time we've seen a Gamers First member hit that same obstacle, going just a bit wide. Gwen, though, does have decent speed trying to catch Elcon. He's got to catch at least Elcon here to keep his team in this track, or we will be heading to match point. Map number 4. Gwen, inside line. Can he hold it?
No.
Doesn't look like it. Elcon's got the speed. They'll beat him to the line, and that is 21. Done and dusted for ITB. They're up 3-0.
I'm holding my chest because I saw Elcon taste the post before he crossed the line, and that makes me cringe because that opens the door. But Gwen unable to take full advantage of it. Banks again with that early mess up, and a 10-1 score on map 21. ITB up 3 on match point on finals birth point, as my co-caster Hunted said. And the door has been opened, Hunted. They can see the light at the end of the tunnel, and Alliance waiting for them. And they just have to make it through 09 first.
It's a short map, though, and this could be the place where Gamers First start their comeback.
Reverse sweet dream.
Yeah, I don't know if we can necessarily hope for that. I mean, I certainly am. I am hoping that we see, 5, 6, 7 maps in this series. But with the way that ITB has been playing all weekend long, it's all to do now for Gamers First. Can't leave anything on this track. Have to push as hard as possible. It looked like that was, I believe, Mime with an early mistake there. So Gwen and Binks gonna look for an early ace here if they can overtake Elcon. Gwen's got the top spot right now. Binks trailing just about a 10th. Elcon trying to cut down the inside. He's a bit too far inside, though. And he won't be able to snipe Gwen. However, does salvage a point for his team.
Salvage as a point is the perfect word for that. You see the big mess up early from Mime that opened the door, and it looked like Gwen and Binks were going to be 1-2, nose to tail, working their way through and possibly getting an ace to start this one off, but Binks able. And Gamers First, 2-1, but it's an uncomfortable 2-1, in my opinion.
Oh, I mean, you're not going to be comfortable until you're winning map 7 right now if you're Gamers First at this point. I mean, I don't even if ITB wins this series and they go up against Alliance, who again have only lost 2 maps, I don't think even Alliance is going to be comfortable against this team. As it looks like Mime going to cross the line first. Gwen and Binks second and third. 1-1 are the point spread for this round. So Gamers First going to keep that point lead up to 3 here. And now we saw Mime 27-5 there in his first real round without a mistake early on. So he is pretty fast, but I do think Binks and Gwen have the slight edge here. We've seen ITB kind of struggle on this map a little bit, especially in that final corner, them going inside just a bit too far, and it kind of forces them to take a wider sort of sprint line to the finish, and it's hurt them a couple of times. Not here today as of yet. As is that going to be Gwen to snipe Elcon? It will. And that, again, it's just that downhill that seems to be plaguing ITB. 2 points for Gamers First.
So carrying that momentum out of the corner and having the right time to get back into the gas and staying on top of it. Gwen doing it perfectly to win by 11 thousandths of a second to keep Gamers First in front and put them back up by 2.
So here you go. Opportunity. Door is open for a map win for G1.
Maybe a window.
Well, either way, they're going to try to smash it down, whatever it is. But right now, looking to slam said door or window is ITB right here. Both 1 and 2. Down to the final straight. There's the ace, and they've got the lead.
Mime and Elcon like, wait, whoa. The ace is what we do. And doing that right here, hey, Hunted, guess what? They're back in the lead. I mean, it's
They
just,
definitely are.
it's legitimately an Uno reverse card. Is they were down, and Mime and Elcon doing Mime and Elcon things, back in front, only up by 1. But again, having such a good run here, and even though you've quoted on it a little bit and hinted at it, the consistency issues could be something big as Elcon catches the wall. As I was getting ready to say, perhaps they turn a corner in this map, and no, turning and finding the post instead.
The opportunity now. Gwen needs to hold off Mime, and he will. We're tied again. This time at 7 after that mistake from Elcon.
Ace does it.
And Ace does it for either team at this point. And I mean, you talk about cards. I think Ace is a perfect name for those 3 points. I mean, this literally could be the ace in the hole for either of these teams. I know Gamers First is hoping it'll be them. But just the same, a mistake here from the G1 players could very well mean the end of this series. Let's see what happens as they head around the bend. Everybody just about wheel to wheel. Binks and Gwen have the top 2 spots, though. Down through the inside. They're going to hold them off, and there's Ace to finish. Gamers First will take their first map of the series.
Don't call it a comeback.
Yeah, and I told you this map. A short map like this one, especially 09, where ITP haven't been necessarily perfect, could be the opening for Gamers First, and that's exactly what they do.
That was a great run here in Gamers First, having life. Just getting up, battered, bruised, bleeding. I didn't hear no bell as Gamers First. Still alive, still with a chance. ITB only 1 map away. But a repository strike has been found. Oh, you're that way. I'm sorry. But a repository strike has been found, Hunted, and it is all about making it happen. 1 run, 1 lap, 1 moment at a time.
Oh, here we go. I mean, we're jumping into 20, and again, it seems like if it's any map, so Mime is very, very good at 20, 21.
You can just stop there.
23, yeah, just about any map.
Mime is good.
It's insane how you go any of the black maps except for 22. I know he does not like 22. But 20, 21, 23, it's so scary to play against this team because Mime probably has the world record on that map. It's that kind of pace that you're up against. And Elcon's no slouch in his own right either, as you see him battling wheel to wheel with Gwen for the lead in this first round. Both Mime and Binks falling back. It's going to be Gwen with a bit of a better line through the penalty sand. He'll keep it off the wall. And now eyes are fixed on Mime and Binks battling. It's going to be Mime just ahead of Binks. So we have a draw to start things off here.
Just a tenth ahead, staying in front, so drawing once again. And I gotta say, again, it's a very good start for Gamers First. It's what they kind of need because one, it gets them in front, they get the win. Gwen's like, all right, I can do this. And then Binks, even though having the mistake, able to stay around and stay on top with Elcon. It's there. It is feasibly there for this team in blue, but ITB looking almost like a Leviathan on this map, just trying to choke it out and make it theirs and move on to the finals.
Up through the penalty sand we go, the Zoop, and you see so much speed for Elcon and Mime.
Oh my goodness.
The top 2 spots. Binks, though, does have a decent line. I just don't know if he has the speed. It's going to come down to the penalty sand. Who is that going just a bit wide? I think that was Elcon. And it was. Will he be able to keep it off the wall? Just barely scraping through. Binks won't be able to catch. And that's an ace for ITB. And exactly the danger that I was saying at the top of this track. Man, they're so fast on this track. If you make any sort of mistake early, it is so hard to catch them.
Here's my thinking, though, Hunted. We saw it, an opportunity there from G1. And so much ground was caught up at the end of the track. It doesn't matter. They got aced, right? But that is still an opportunity. You saw the perfect angles, the way to reel in those front cars. If you can just put together a greater first half of this track, you now finish so much cleaner. But they have to they need to start doing it, and they need to start doing it now. Down 4-1.
Oh, there goes Elcon. Off towards the side. He will have to chase from the 4th place position, but his teammate in Mime with just about a 3/10 lead over top of both Gwen and Binks.
I like Gwinks.
That's a pretty good name for the duo there.
Right?
But Mime will hold off Gwinks as Elcon going to follow up in 4th place. So 1-1 draw yet again.
Hashtag Gwinks23, not what they wanted. The best. And Melcon?
Melcon?
I don't.
Melcon's definitely the way to go there.
1-4.
Melcon,
And so
I like that too.
1-4 means 5-2. We're going to throw some numbers at you. And how about one more? 3-1 as well. But 5-2 on the score in this map. 3-1 in the series right now.
Oh, was that Gwen? It was.
Mm-hmm. In the catbird seat. They got 2 players riding right behind Binks as they just need to perhaps find one more movement forward to get a 2-1 or perhaps another ace, because they have been so dominant in these maps. And there it is, stepping forward. Elcon in front, Mime right behind, trying to walk his teammate down. Binks, it is all eyes on you as you have 2 just cars speeding away almost as if it's a hot pursuit, and this man has to catch up soon or else they will pull away and make it another ace, another 8 score, and it is 8-2. Gamers first on the brink again.
Yeah, I mean, this is the brink of the brink. I mean, the mountain is crumbling underneath their feet at this point. They need to hold ITB to just about no points through the next 2-3 rounds to give themselves a chance to come back on this map, to come back in this series and fix that date with Alliance. But ITB, they've just been so good. They've
it's hopium here.
You can hopium as much as you want, but if the French can't zoop like Mime can, and it's just so much speed. It's unbelievable how much exit speed he has through that section. And as long as Mime can stay off the wall in the final corner, it is going to be a 1-point game for ITB. They need 1 more point, and they will meet Alliance in the finals.
1.1 run, 1 chance away from the finals. And Alliance, they have gotten, I'll be honest, they've gotten their watching full. They've been able to watch this ITB team. They've seen perhaps some weaknesses, a lot of strengths coming from this Mime and Elcon duo. But now they just have to close it out. Remember, eyes on the prey, not the horizon, because any small mistake, you can open the door for Binks and Gwen. And, you know, we saw it in the last map. They're down, but they're not out. They're going to go down fighting. They are not going to die kneeling. They're going to die standing, Hunted.
And, you know, the tough part is that neither one of them can make a mistake, right? They both have to finish 1-2. And Gwen is going to find an early lead, but it's eyes on Binks now. He has to catch Mime. He's pretty close. This penalty sand section is going to be important. Mime, though, down the inside. His line is so good through here. Have to hope for him to hit the wall. Can Binks catch him? It's not going to happen. Mime will be the last point ITB need. And they have made their way into the finals, both semifinals, ending 4-1 in favor of the undefeated teams. And I cannot wait for that finals. It is going to be a clash of the 4-0s. Alliance and ITB will be doing battle here on your screens in just a little while. This is unbelievable.